What is up, YouTube? So today I'm going to be taking you all on kind of like a day in the life / full day of eating. I'm going to show you every single meal I eat today, as well as an arm day, like a whole arm workout later on in the video. But without anything else to be said, I'm going to start off with meal number 1. So I already cooked it. I was going to try to record the whole cooking process, but I was really hungry and I kind of just wanted to cook and eat. It is a bit late. It's about 10:30 right now. I got a late start today, but this is meal number 1 right here. It's a 10-egg omelet. Now, it's not 10 whole eggs. It is 2 whole eggs with 8 egg whites. Mixed in there, I have a cup of peppers and onions. I just bought a frozen bag from ShopRite. I highly suggest you get those. It's very, very easy. They're very cheap. They're already like chopped up for you. Again, make sure you're weighing them out though, because it does have calories. You don't want to just ignore them. I think the whole bag is 100 calories, and if you just kind of like mindlessly use it and not track any of them, that's 100 extra calories that you don't even know you're consuming. So I highly recommend picking up a little weight scale or food scale just so that you know how many macros you're actually consuming. So like I mentioned, there's 2 whole eggs, 8 egg whites. Not I didn't separate the yolks. I just used a carton. Again, just trying to save a little bit of money. The protein is still good. I think protein would be a little bit better quality if I did separate the egg yolks, but in terms of just saving money, that cartoned egg works perfectly fine. So I also added 2 slices of fat-free cheese. Again, I think fat-free cheese is a great thing you can add on a cut. I haven't really talked about this much, but I am on a cut right now. Fat-free cheese is a great way to kind of boost up the protein a little bit without it being much calories, and there's obviously no fat. I think the 2 slices that I used were like 30 calories each, and it came out as like 4 grams of protein each. So really, really good macros in there. And then to top it all off, I just put some everything bagel seasoning on there. I think it was only 4 calories for the serving, and just some Red Hot. Again, when you're on a cut, a lot of people I think are misinformed, where they think, oh, I have to starve myself. If you look at this plate of food, I don't think it looks like I'm starving myself. When you're cutting, you just got to find lower calorie options, and lower calorie options that fill up your stomach. You know, you need to eat high volumes of food to make yourself feel full. And I think the total macros in this omelet right here are, I think, 405 calories. So that is definitely a low calorie breakfast and a high volume breakfast, to say the least. I will definitely show how I cook that in the future, so stay tuned for that. But yeah, just throw the onions in the pan, then mix the eggs. I don't know if I mentioned this, but the onions and peppers are frozen, so just throw them in the pan, let them defrost, and then throw in your eggs and then your cheese. So pretty simple there. But I'm going to chow down on this now. I am starving, and I will see you all for meal number 2. All right, what is going on, everybody? So back for meal number 2. This meal is pretty simple. It consists of 56 grams of pasta. It is currently being boiled right now. I'm just going to move this over here. It's currently being boiled right there. The serving on the pasta said 2/3 of a cup, but personally I don't like to measure out like with the measuring cups. I think the scale is more accurate. I've even mentioned that before with protein powders. I like to just weigh it out just to know that it's 100% accurate rather than the scoop potentially being off. But pasta is being cooked. Now that's the carb source, obviously. Now for the protein source, I got 1 pound of ground chicken. I'm not going to be eating the entire pound of ground chicken. I'm only going to be eating 7 ounces of, only 7 ounces of it. Now, the 7 ounces is cooked weight. It's not the raw weight. Again, there's a lot of water that's going to just be evaporated and cooked out as it's cooking. So I never go by the raw weight. I always go by the cooked weight, because that's what I'm actually going to be consuming. So I'm going to throw this down in the pan. We can get this thing started. Sorry about that. I wanted to talk a little bit more while I was cooking the food, but I ended up running out of storage when I was throwing out the chicken package. But this is the finished product for meal number 2. Pretty simple, just the 7 ounces of cooked weight ground chicken and the 56 grams of pasta. 56 grams is the uncooked weight of pasta as well. So now, just to kind of doctor it up a little bit, make it taste a little bit better, I got some of this G. Hughes Polynesian sauce. This is my absolute favorite flavor from this brand. Um, Again, on the back, it still has 10 calories. Again, 10 calories to you might not seem like a lot, but over time it can add up. So again, just throw it on the scale. It only takes an extra 5 seconds to just weigh it out a little bit. Just switch it over to grams. One serving is 32 grams, so I'm just going to put that on. And now I'll know that I only consume 10 calories of it. You know, you could just mindlessly be putting on a lot more. You just got to be careful about that. Because, again, 10 calories might not seem like a lot right now, but you do it, 100 times, that's an extra 1,000 calories you're not really paying attention to. And I know in a grand scheme of things, 100 times is a long time, so to make 1,000 calories seem like a lot. But, again, you get what I'm saying. But yeah, this is the finished product for meal number 2. It's pretty tasty. Yeah, it's pretty simple. And the macros are... I'm going to pop them up on the screen some point over here, but I think it's 200 calories for the pasta and another 200 for the ground chicken. So only about 410 calories for this meal. Yeah, definitely high volume. Like I mentioned in meal 1, when you're cutting, you want to eat high volume foods to make you feel full. This will definitely make me feel full for the next few hours until meal number 3. Meal number 3 also happens to be the pre-workout meal. So I'm going to have some fast reacting carbs in that meal. Thinking probably I'm going to go over to the store and pick up some Rice Krispie Treats cereal. Again, something just quick, fast reactive carbs right before a workout are going to really fuel a nice workout in terms of a pump and energy level. I don't know if I explained this before, but this diet consists of 5 meals a day, and it's only 4 carb meals a day. So in my opinion, I kind of look at when I'm going to be going to the gym, and if I'm going to the gym later, I'm going to save my carb meals for later. That way I can have a carb meal after the gym as well as before the gym. So to me, having a carb meal this morning wasn't really important, so that's why I didn't have any carbs with meal number 1. But if I plan to go to the gym earlier, I'll have my carbs earlier in the day and then no carbs at the end of the day. That's kind of how I gauge my carb intake. But yeah, that's meal number 2. I'll see you all for meal number 3 later. Peace out. All right, so back for meal number 3. This is my pre-workout meal, like I mentioned before. For my carb source, I got a serving and a half of Rice Krispie Treat cereal. This is the one and only cereal I'd go and say is healthy. When you look at the ingredients or like what's actually in the cereal, it's literally just rice. It has very, very little bit of sugar. I think for this whole thing, it's 4 grams of sugar. And in my opinion, that's really not too bad. It's got a it's got a really good carb source, obviously being rice, and I believe for this whole bowl being a serving and a half, I think it's roughly like 52 grams of carbs. So that's a perfect amount of carbs right before the gym. Again, they're going to be fast reacting due to the fact that it is rice and it's not a carb that takes too long to kind of enter your system. And I'm going to be going to the gym in about an hour, so I'm going to eat this pretty quickly, and it'll have about probably an hour to an hour and 15 minutes before my first work set to really kick in and be all fully digested. With this, though, obviously it doesn't have enough protein, even with the cup of Fairlife milk that's in there. I also have a serving of the Blueberry Muffin Rise protein powder in here. So the total macros for this meal, calorie-wise, I didn't calculate it yet, but it will be thrown up right over there. But in terms of protein and carbs, it's got about probably 55 to 60 grams of carbs. Again, the full macros will be right here. I probably don't even need to say this right now, but I will. Who cares? And it's about 45 grams of protein. So perfect meal right before the gym. Again, it's not too heavy on the stomach. That's a big thing I'm very cautious about when I'm going to train, is that I want to be able to eat a meal that's easily digested before I go train. I don't want to be training and feel bloated or full. Again, when you're training, that's really the fun part of bodybuilding. You know, you don't want to have other you don't really want to have other circumstances or other things bothering your training. You know, you want your training to be perfect. That way you can grow the most from it. So any foods that take longer to digest, like potatoes, it's a carb that takes longer to really enter your system. That'll be a carb that I'd have later on in the day or really early in the day. So I kind of try to think about what carb I'm having before I go to the gym, so that way I have the most effective workout. But that's really all that needs to be said. I'm going to chow down on this, and then I will see you for the pre-workout talk before arms. Peace out. All right, best time of the day, gym time. So, like I mentioned earlier, today is arm day. I'm heading over to Powerhouse Gym now, and I'm pretty friggin' hyped. I've had a few arm days in the past at Powerhouse, and they've all been excellent. I really like the preacher curl machine that they have there, so that'll definitely be in this workout. And I'm thinking about potentially doing some close grip bench to start off with, like a heavy press. And then after that, it's going to be just a shitload of extensions and a shitload of curls. I'll probably start off with preacher curls just to get my biceps nice and warm on a cable movement, and then I'll move into a free weight movement. That's how I'm thinking the workout's going to go. But yeah, same plan as always, starting off with triceps and then going into biceps after. I'll probably do about 10, 12 sets each. And then I'll finish off with 5 sets of forearm curls. So that's honestly what's been working for me for the past couple months. I've gotten sore for every arm day training them like that. And, I think there's nothing wrong with training the same way week to week, as long as it's working. If you see results from it and you're getting sore from it, don't switch it up. If you're doing something for like 4 months now and you notice no change, then you should change something. But even if you do the same workout every single time, as long as your intensity is greater each time, you will get better each time. So don't think like you have to switch it up to shock the muscles. I mean, yeah, that's true, but it's really all about the intensity that you put into the given workout. In my opinion, I think plateaus are they're inevitable, they're going to happen, but to break through them, you have to change what you're doing, whether that's the workouts you do or just the intensity that you're applying to your workout. But without any further ado, I got to start drinking this pre-workout because I'm about 5 minutes away and I haven't even taken a sip yet. So I kind of want it to be like hitting me when I'm starting my first work set, so I might take a little bit longer of a warm-up today. My pre-workout of choice at the moment is Evogen. I don't know if you've ever heard of the brand. It's pretty decent. I got it from a local supplement shop around my house. They don't sell it, I think, in Walmart or Vitamin Shop. But this one supplement shop's got a bunch of different brands, and this was one of them. And it's pretty good. They got a lot of nice, a lot of good pump ingredients in there, as well as some pretty high stim. It's one of the pre-workouts that you can double scoop as well as do like a single scoop. It has like 2 different servings. So yeah, but it's been pretty good. But I am almost out, so I'm probably going to be picking up another tub soon. Probably won't be the same brand. I kind of like switching it up a little bit with the pre-workouts. Even if it feels good, I like to buy different ones just to kind of, I don't know, switch it up. I don't know, I kind of get bored of the flavors sometimes, so I like to, I don't know, have like a wide spread of things to try. All right, asshole, just cut me off. Whatever. Some people don't deserve to drive, I swear. I probably shouldn't say that, but anyway, whatever. But that's all that really needs to be said right now, and I will see you all for the first work set of triceps. Peace out. All right, what's going on, everybody? So I'm starting off the tricep portion of my arm workout with some close grip bench. This has been easily one of my favorite tricep movements the past couple of weeks. Honestly, I get a really good tricep activation. Indirectly, I'm obviously working a little bit of my chest, but keeping such a close grip is definitely targeting more of my triceps. And honestly, going pretty heavy on this as a first movement, it's kind of like a compound, and it really fatigues your triceps. And it honestly makes all the extensions later in the workout feel really, really good, being that my triceps are super fatigued and I'm feeling like the fibers are like open and I'm able to really flood the tricep with as much blood as possible. Again, there's definitely pros and cons of training heavy at the start. Your isolation movements where I'm doing more extensions aren't going to maybe feel as strong. But in terms of bodybuilding, you really don't need to be super strong. Honestly, it's all about the pump. It's all about getting more blood to the muscle and getting a better pump, and that's how it's going to grow. But I did one more set after that. As you could see, I only did about 5 reps with 275, and then I dropped it to 225 for the last couple reps. Again, 5 reps is a little lower than the amount of volume that I typically want, so doing a drop was an easy way to kind of get a little bit more reps for the set. After some close grip bench, I'm moving over into some body weight dips. Again, just going for a nice press in the beginning feels really, really nice and allows for the extensions to feel really, really good after. I did a set before this with a 45-pound plate, like wrapped on a belt, but it felt a little heavy today, so I just decided to do a body weight set after to really just control the weight better. After the body weight dips, I moved over into some katanas. I've absolutely loved this workout for triceps the past couple weeks. It does a really, really nice job of not only hitting the lateral head during an extension, but it really hits the medial and long head as well, being that my arms aren't going straight down and they're being that my arms aren't going straight down and they're kind of coming out to the side, it means that it's just really targeting the entire tricep rather than the lateral head. Targeting each head of the tricep separately is very important, but to hit them all at once just feels like a really, really nice pump. Doing some partials here, and then you'll see me do a drop set as well. I did about 4 sets over here. This was like my primary extension movement for today, and this tricep workout had me sore for about 4 days. My triceps were absolutely fried. Unfortunately, I didn't get too much bicep content, being that my phone's battery was pretty low, and I think it died during the second bicep movement. But obviously, I'll explain that later. But on these extensions, I'm really just trying to get as much blood to the muscle as possible, going nice, slow, and controlled, bringing down the cables as much as I possibly can. Even when I can't fully lock out my triceps, I'm still going to try to squeeze out a few more reps to go past failure. After that, I believe I did some skull crushers, but I unfortunately wasn't able to record them. But now moving over into some single arm preacher curls. This is my first workout for biceps right here. I decided to go pretty heavy on this first set to, again, really fatigue the biceps. Again, I feel like there's a lot of mixed feelings about going heavy on bicep training. I feel like you could potentially get injured, but again, I feel like injury happens when you don't listen to your body. So if you're feeling good, definitely go a bit heavier. If you're not, definitely don't go too heavy. But as you can see, I'm getting a little bit of a spot to get that full squeeze at the top. Training partials on biceps is good. I typically don't like to train them on a cable movement. I just feel like, in my head, I feel like that's how an injury could happen. I would do partials on a dumbbell movement. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do any dumbbells today. I did more of like easy bar curls, but honestly, that felt really, really nice, and it was a good change of workout, and it honestly, I think, shocked the muscles because my biceps were pretty sore the next couple of days. But like I mentioned earlier on in this clip, I went a little heavier on this first work set, but being that I went heavier, I did do a drop set. I think I dropped the weight about 60%, and I just went nice, slow, and controlled to really just add a few more reps to this set. I believe I only got about, I think I only did about 2 sets here, but they were all out, so 2 sets was all I really needed to do. After this movement, I moved over into some hammer curls on this bar. It was actually a pretty cool bar. It had like a hammer curl variation, and it felt really, really nice. But yeah, all in all, this was just a great arm workout. As you can see right here, I'm going for constant tension. I'm not going to stop too long at the bottom. Typically, I'm now watching back at this clip, I probably should have stopped a little bit more at the top to really get a great squeeze, but honestly, keeping constant tension on that muscle is extremely important, and I feel like I did a pretty good job of that. I absolutely love preacher curls, by the way, because just due to the fact that your arm is on that pad, it just really, really stretches your bicep out at the bottom. As you can see, I'm not going all the way down at the bottom, but that's just also to prevent injury. I've seen way too many bicep tears where people go all the way down. I feel like I could maybe be going down a little bit more, but I've explained this in the past that even mid-rep partials are really, really good too, because your bicep just stays contracted and stays active the entire time. So it's just another way to really advance your pump. Again, it's really important to stretch the muscle, but it's also important to squeeze the muscle. But this is that hammer curl bar variation I was talking about, and honestly felt really, really nice today. And unfortunately, this is the last bicep workout I was able to record. I did some dumbbell curls after as well, but like I mentioned before, my phone died, and this was the only content I was able to get. But these hammer curls felt really, really nice, and I could definitely see myself doing these more in the future. But that is all for the workout, and I will see you after for meal number 4. Peace out. All right, so back for meal number 4. I just wrapped up my arm workout. Unfortunately, my phone died, so I couldn't get much footage from the bicep portion of the workout. But I did get most of the tricep footage. I'm sure I explained that in the voiceover that I did during the workout footage. But now I'm here for meal number 4, post-workout meal. Fortunately, my gym had a like a meal prep company there, so I was able to pick up a taco bowl from the gym. If they didn't have the meal prep company, I would have still come home and had something very similar to this. The macros for this bowl are, let me see here, 50 grams of protein, 60 grams of carbs, 15 grams of fat, and 575 calories. I'm still going to pop them up over there just so that we can kind of see the total calories for the day. But this is meal number 4. I'll see you in a little bit for meal number 5. Peace out. All right, YouTube. So last meal of the day, just got 7 ounces of ground beef. Again, it's nighttime. I don't really need to have a carb right now. I had my post-workout carb, a pre-workout carb. Especially on a cut, I feel like, cutting out your carbs is okay to do because it just kind of lessens your calories. But in the grand scheme of things, it's really just calories in versus calories out. To me, I feel like around 2,400 calories is enough of a deficit for me to lose weight in a healthy amount. Again, I never want to cut too aggressively because then I'm obviously going to start to lose muscle mass. So on a cut, I try to keep a few things in mind. Keep my calories in only about maybe 300 calorie deficit, nothing really more than that, just so I can really target fat loss, as well as keeping the protein high so that way I can really keep the muscle mass that I put on during the bulk. Again, I could be eating 1,000 carbs a day. As long as it fit into the calories, I would still lose weight. You know what I mean? Like, as long as I was still in a deficit, I'd still lose weight. That's my mindset. Honestly, I'm probably going to take this cut as far as I can go and then probably maintain for a bit. And then I'll probably start up a little bit of a bulk. I feel like every time I've bulked in the past, it was always a little bit, I wouldn't say dirty, but it always just took like a dirty turn where I would gain too much weight in a very small amount of time. So I'm really going to try to bulk correctly this time. Only really a 200 calorie surplus. Really just try to monitor how much weight I'm gaining, as well as really prioritizing doing cardio during the bulk, really to just kind of not get too chunky, to say the least. But in terms of this cut, I'm going to really try to kind of keep the carbs not really low, but I'm going to try to kind of put them in intuitively, if that makes sense. Try to think about when I'm having carbs and why I'm having those carbs. But obviously the protein is going to be high. And yeah, I'm excited to see how this cut's going to go. Honestly, the last cut I did, I had a transformation video posted from like 2 years ago, and that was a phenomenal cut. I was super happy with how everything went. I definitely am starting this cut in a leaner position. I wouldn't say I'm lean right now, but I am definitely starting it off in a leaner spot than I did then. So I probably won't go in the 8-month span that last one did. Probably maybe 4 or 5 months to get down to that weight again. Again, I'm not going to cut down to like 155 like I was then. I'll probably cut down to like 165 now. I might be that lean at that weight now because I kind of gained muscle. So again, anything could change. We'll see how it all goes. But again, I'm going to be really smart about my decisions going forward in this. If I'm losing too much weight, I'm obviously going to kick up the calories or pull back on the cardio. Again, I don't want to lose weight too fast. It's not about the scale, it's about how I look. And my goal is to really just maintain as much muscle as possible. And when you're cutting, you should definitely keep that same thing in mind. Again, it's not about what the scale says, it's about how you look. So with all that being said, this is the last meal of the day, and the video is basically over. If you stuck around this far, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And maybe drop a like down below if you enjoyed the video, and comment what you want to see next. But I'm out for now. I will see you tomorrow. What's tomorrow? Tomorrow's shoulders, I think. Wait, what is tomorrow? I don't know. My split got messed up with getting back from Florida. But I'll see you tomorrow for either shoulders or chest. Peace out.